morning. I wondered, being one of the captains, obviously you're keeping the guys together. What are you saying to them to keep their spirits up? And are you kind of a sounding board if guys come to you a little frustrated?
Yeah, obviously, the circumstances we're in right now. We're just leading and taking it day by day. Really not focusing solely on the week of the game, but on our preparation on Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, throughout the whole week. And just obviously motivating guys and, encouraging guys, that although this is a down year, we're still playing the game that we love and we're playing it together as a family. So we have a lot to play for.
Ben Free. Hey, Jonathan, thanks for doing this today. Yesterday, James talked to us and said the phrase, "We just want to get better today." He reiterated a couple of times in his press conference. What does that kind of mean to you, and what does that look like in the locker room as everyone focuses day by day and stringing good days together that will translate into the game?
So, yeah, that just reiterates the process. Obviously there's a process into winning games, and that starts with a good, successful week. And obviously we got to focus on each day and maximize and win the day before we can win a game. So that's what we've been going by.
Nate Bauer.
Hey, Jonathan, does this is kind of a more of a generalized question, but does development happen for individual players during the season as compared to, preseason training camp or the spring practices or even the summer months?
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. We have many competitive periods during practice. We have scrimmages on Sunday for guys who don't really typically get reps during the game. And then obviously the guys out on the field they're developing each game, with more experience and et cetera like that. So yeah, I would definitely say that we are, as a team, developing during the season as we would in the off season or training camp.
Andrew Porterfield.
Hey, Jonathan, thanks for doing this. As the season wears on, who are some of the young guys that you've seen step up, and what's your confidence level in them as the season moves forward?
Yeah, a few guys that come to mind are obviously Parker Washington, Curtis Jacobs, guys like that, young guys who have been stepping up, and making plays. So those guys stick out to me for sure, I would say.
Parth?
Hey, Jonathan, appreciate the time this morning. I know it's obviously other side of the ball from you, but from kind of your vantage point, what have you seen from Brenton Strange that kind of shows you that he's ready to fill the big shoes that Pat's left behind?
Yeah, I've seen his work ethic. I've been able to observe that ever since he's been here. He's a guy who comes to practice every single day, trying to get better, competing as well. So, he's a great competitor, and he has a great work ethic, and he's more than capable for sure.
Joe Giuliano.
Jonathan, we hear every week about the good practices you guys are having, but yet the performance in the game I don't think matches that. What's it going to take to translate practice performance to the field in games?
Yeah, so actually this past practice, we kind of switched up our schedule a little bit. Typically, we've been following the same format for the past couple of years now, but yesterday we kind of switched up our Tuesday practice, and it allowed us to start a lot more faster. So hopefully that'll translate to the game, and we could start fast and put 4 quarters together.
Nick Bauer.
When you guys got back from Lance Dixon just called it the COVID break, how long did you feel like it took you to be back to where you wanted to be physically from the kind of the trajectory you had been on before everybody left? in March?
Yeah, I mean, it was technically a break, but that doesn't mean that our guys still weren't working. I mean, a bunch of guys, especially guys who were still up here, were working. So it's a lot different when obviously we're not working together as a team, to build that ideal chemistry. But guys were still working, I mean, we showed up. Many guys were in shape, and I think it was just a bigger chemistry piece, working together as a team, in comparison to everyone working individually and then showing up together.
New bias, Wilborn.
Jonathan, obviously, 0-5 season, it's what it is. But going to Thanksgiving, what are the things that you have found to be thankful for, to have joy in with everything that's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I was just thankful for my family. And when I say my family, I do mean my literal family, my direct family, as well as the football team and everyone who's involved with the program. This year we weren't even supposed to be playing, but, we're playing football. So that's another big thing to be thankful for as well. I'm doing it with the people I love. So very thankful for that.
Juliana?
Jonathan, we know that one of the problems in executing is like when all the guys don't do their assignments or whatever, and one guy out of the 11 making a mistake, which blows up the whole play. But do you think that guys are putting pressure on themselves now? You guys, the season is winding down, and you're still winless. Do you feel like guys are putting pressure on themselves?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't say putting it on themselves necessarily, but when you're 0-5, there is pressure, that's just been fueling us to even come together closer and to start trusting one another when we're out on the field. So, although there is pressure, it's just kind of caused us to come closer together as a family. So,
Andrew Porterfield.
A guy who's stepped into a bigger leadership role is Jesse Luketa. Obviously, you two have that connection, both being from Ottawa. How have you seen him grow over the past couple of years, and how do you think he'll continue that growth?
Yeah, I mean, Jesse's a worker. He's a competitor. As soon as he stepped on campus, I was able to see that, and just to see him grow more as a leader throughout the years has been really impressive. And no, I expect big things out of Jesse. I'm really proud of him.
Travis Johnson.
Jonathan, just curious if you've seen enough from Cade McNamara to have an opinion kind of on his playing style at quarterback for Michigan, and maybe how do you go about preparing for a guy when there's not a lot of tape on him?
Yeah, obviously we don't know who's going to be starting this week. So with the tape that we do have, we're able to evaluate them. But at the end of the day, we're just going to have to trust the process, trust and play with our keys, and that'll take care of the rest. So,
Nate Bauer.
Hey, a minute ago you mentioned kind of learning to trust each other out on the field. Can you just explain what that means? Like, how does that manifest itself?
Yeah, so it's not trying to do more than your job. It's trusting that the guy next to you is going to do his job so you can execute your job. When you're concerned about someone else doing their job and you start to get out of the framework of the defense, offense, special teams, etc., whatever phases on the field. When you start focusing on other people's jobs and making sure, that, oh, well, if they don't do this, I got to step up and do that, then you're not able to execute your job to the fullest. So when all 11 guys are on the field, they're trusting that the men next to them are doing their job. You can solely focus on doing your job to the greatest. And if we have all 11 guys doing that, then we're going to be successful.
Joe Giuliano.
Jonathan, what are some of the keys that will help you get back on the winning track? And I'm sure you hope that's on Saturday.
Having a great day today. Having a great practice today.
Bias Wilborn?
You mentioned not knowing which quarterback would start for Michigan. It also seems there was a similar situation with Nebraska where they kind of went back and forth on whether it's going to be McCaffrey or Martinez, even right up to the last minute. As a defense, how do you learn from that situation to maybe help you going forward when a team has a kind of influx quarterback situation?
Yeah, I mean, obviously with film preparation, evaluating the film or whatever film we do have. And then, like I said, again, just trusting our keys and then playing in the framework of the defense, regardless of what quarterback's in the game. If we do that, we'll like the results.
Nate Powell?
John, just a follow up on what you were talking about with the trust. It seems like you guys have been talking about that all year, and I'm just curious if you felt like that would have developed by this point in the season, and what impact individual absences, whether it's Tariq last week or Keaton in the first few games, like how do those play a role in that dynamic, if at all?
You saying the losses? I'm not sure what you're asking. You saying the losses on defense? How does that play a role?
No. I'm saying when guys are absent, like if you don't have specific pieces in place that typically would be there, how does that impact that trust component between teammates?
Well, no, I wouldn't say necessarily. I wouldn't say that at all. One thing it may affect is the communication piece, because when a guy's been starting for so long, he's real comfortable in the defense. He's real comfortable communicating pre-snap, post-snap, etc. So when a younger guy comes in and tries to fill that role, it's not that we trust his lack of ability to play football. It's not at all, because everyone on this team is talented, but it may kind of draw back a little bit from the communication and then getting kind of everyone on the same page pre-snap, post-snap, which can, affect things. So it's kind of more like that, if that makes sense.